Hey everyone, this is Rajesh here. This is our second lecture of determinant. Here we will study properties of determinants. So let us start. The first property of determinant is the value of determinant remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. Okay. What it indicates that the value of determinant, we have already seen how we can find the value of determinant. Now the value of determinant will remain same if we interchange all the rows with all the columns. See here, you can see two determinants. Now in the first determinant, whatever elements are written in row wise, in the second determinant I have written them in column wise. So if suppose for this determinant my answer is D, then for this right hand side determinant also the answer will be D. So that means if I interchange row with column, then the value of determinant will remain unchanged. This is your first property which we can use in case we need to change row with columns. Now second property. If any two rows of a determinant are interchanged, then sign of determinant changes. What it indicates that if I interchange two rows, any two rows or any two columns, then the value of determinant will change in sign, right? See here, now you can see two determinant again. What is the difference here? That here first row and second row, they are interchanged. So what will happen that suppose for this determinant if the answer is D, then for this determinant where I am interchanging the row, I will get answer as minus D. So to make them equal, I am multiplying this minus D again with minus. So what I can say that this left hand side determinant which is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3, this will be equals to minus of B1, B2, B3, A1, A2, A3, C1, C2, C3. The same thing you can do for column also. Now third property, if any two rows of a determinant are identical, that is all corresponding elements are same, then the value of determinant is 0. Yes, see here, first row and second row, are they identical? Yes, they are identical, they are same, A1, A2, A3, A1, A2, A3. So what will be the result of determinant? The result will be 0, right? You can verify all these properties by yourself, right? And we will understand it in more better way when we solve the problem based on these properties. This property number 3 is very important, right? And it is very simple also. If you see any two row or any two column same, what will be your result? Your result will be 0. Now let us move to property number 4. If each element of a row or a column of a determinant is multiplied by a constant k, then its value get multiplied by k, right? See here, now see this right hand side. Here I have a determinant A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Suppose its answer is D. Now if I multiply the first row, each element of the first row by a constant say k, then what will be the result of this determinant? Its value will be k into D. That is k into this determinant, right? Are you getting it? So if I multiply any row or any column with some constant k, then its value gets multiplied by k. Alright. Property number 5. If sum or all element of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as a sum of two terms, then the determinant can be expressed as a sum of two terms or two determinant, right? See here, the first row, the element are a1 plus lambda 1, A2 plus lambda 2, A3 plus lambda 3. That means first row all the elements are expressed as sum of two elements. So therefore I can write this determinant as sum of two determinant as I have given on the right hand side. The first determinant is A1, A2, A3. The first row I have taken the first element of the sum, and in the second determinant I have taken the second element, that is lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3. Right? So this is your property number 5, in which if any row or any column is in the form of sum of two numbers, then I can split them as sum of two determinant. Property number 6. Now again this property number 6 is very important. This is similar to what we have learned as the transformations in case of matrices. Now what it says, that if to each element of any row or column of a determinant, the equimultiples of corresponding element of other row are added, then the value of determinant remain the same. That is, the value of determinant remains same if we apply the operation, like on Ri I am applying Ri plus k times Rj, or on Ci I am applying Ci plus k times Cj. Right? See here, suppose I have one determinant which is delta A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Its value is what? Delta says. Now I have taken another determinant in which what I have done, I have multiplied, I have added k times of R3 to R1, right? If you see this R1, A1, A2, A3 is already there. What I have done, I have added k times of this third row. Now this k can be positive or negative. So whatever value I get for this determinant, this will be same as for this determinant. Right? So on delta 1, what we have applied? We have applied operation as R1 plus k times R3. Now by using this property 6, what I can say, that delta 1 equal to delta. So these are the 6. So let us move to solving the problems. Now we have seen all the 6 properties, right? The first property is that if I interchange row with column, then the value of determinant will remain unchanged. Second property is, what is second property? If you check the second property, it is that if I interchange any two row or a column, then the value of determinant will change in sign. The third property is, if two rows are identical or two columns are identical, determinant is 0. The fourth property is that if I multiply any row by some constant k, then my determinant will also multiply by k. The value of determinant will multiply by k. Fifth property, that if my any two row or two columns, any row or column is expressed as sum of two elements, then I can write that determinant as a sum of two determinants. And last property is that if I add any multiple of any row or any multiple of any column to any row or column, then the value of determinant will remain unchanged. So these are the 6 properties. So let us start solving problems. Now first problem, exercise 4.2. First problem, you have given determinant, see here, x a, x plus a, y b, y plus b, and z c, z plus c equal to 0. This we have to prove. Now what they have given, using the property of determinant. So in case you are solving this problem, okay, by usual method what you have learned in exercise 4.1, then you will not get any marks, because here you have to apply the property. So let us start how we can apply the property. Now left hand side, if you see this third column, right, here it is expressed as sum of two element. So what I can say, that I can split this determinant as sum of two determinant like this, where in one determinant I take these values x, y, z, and in second determinant I use value a, b, c. Now what property I have applied here? The fifth property we have used. Now this first column here, in the second I have this second and third column identical, and in this first matrix or first determinant I have this first column and this third column are identical. So what I can say that this is 0 and this is 0. Now this is your property number 3, in which if any two row or two column are identical, then the value of determinant is 0, right? So left hand side is right hand side. This is my answer. Now second question. Again we have to apply the property. So you can try yourself. Okay. Try to add R1 with R3 or C1 with C2 like that, and see if you get any two row or any two column identical. Now one hint what we can use is that here on right hand side we want 0 as the answer. Now we have seen in property number 3 that if two row or two columns are identical, then my answer is 0. So here what you have to do, here you have to make any two row or any two column 0. Let us apply on R1 plus R3. Let us see what we get. So when we apply, see here when we apply R1 on R1 as R1 plus R3, so this plus A and this minus A will cancel. I will get C minus B. See here we have B minus C. In second, this B will cancel and I have A minus C. See here we have C minus A. So I am getting something similar in second row and first row after applying this operation. So when I apply, what I get? A minus C, B minus A, C minus B in the first row. You check this third row. Third row is C minus A minus B and B minus C. So only the difference is of sign. So what I will do? I will take minus sign common from this third row. As I take minus sign common, my left hand side, right? Now you can see that the first row and the third row are now identical. Now as they are identical, what I can say that this value is 0, and hence our result left hand side is equal to right hand side. That is, I can say that this determinant is equals to 0. This exercise, right, using the property of determinant is little difficult, right? As in case of matrices, the multiplication is difficult, finding the inverse is difficult. Similarly here, using the property is difficult. So what I recommend that you solve each problem, right? If you are finding it difficult, then solve it twice to have a good idea. And again, if you are having then also difficulty, then call me. Okay, I will explain you how to proceed. Now this third question. Here again, first you think, right? Pause the video, think yourself that how you will proceed and then start. Now my third column, if you check the third column, 65, 75, 86. These are very big numbers. So what I can do? I can subtract some multiple of C2 or some multiple of C1 from this C3, so that it will reduce to numbers like 7, 8, 9 or 2, 3, 5. Right? Now again I have to prove that this is equals to 0. That means ultimately my property number 3 will apply, that is any two row or any two column I will get identical. So let us apply on C3 minus 9 times C1. Now I use 9 times C1, it is not C1, it is C2. So let us, so on C3 I am applying C3 minus 9 times C2. Now I use 9 times because 65, if you start table of 7, so you will find that 7 9s are 63. So that means you will subtract 9 times C2. So let us subtract 9 times C2. What you will get? 65 minus 9 times 7, 63, you will get 2. 75 minus 9 times 8, that is 72, you will get 3. And 86 minus 9 times, that is 9 9 is 81, you will get 86 minus 81 as 5. Now check whether you are getting any two row or any two column identical. Yes, I am getting C1 and C3 identical. So my answer is 0. Therefore left hand side and right hand sides are equal, and I have proved this equal to 0 using the properties of determinant. Now let us see this fourth problem. Now here in this problem, if you observe carefully, you will find that this third column is AB plus AC, BC plus BA and CA plus CB. If you split, that is if you apply property number 5, then what happens? You will not get any two row identical or any two column identical, right? Now, so what I will do, I will add this C2 to this C3, right? Now you see that here you are getting AB plus AC and the remaining term is BC, so BC is here. Similarly here it is BC plus BA, the remaining term is CA. So it is better that on C3 I will apply C3 plus C2. Now once I apply C3 plus C2 on column C3, this third column I am getting identical, that is AB plus BC plus AC, AB plus BC plus AC, AB plus BC plus AC. So I take this AB plus BC plus AC from third column common. So I have taken this as common here. So what I got? I got 1 1 1 and in the third column also I got 1 1 1. Now as I got identical element in first column and third column, right, C1 and C3 are identical, so I will say that this is 0 by property number 3 and I have left hand side is equals to right hand side. Now let us move to the fifth problem. Okay, now fifth problem. Okay, now in this fifth problem the right hand side is not 0, so forget about that property number 3, right? Left hand side is given something, we have to prove that this is 2 times right hand side, which is APX, BQY and CRZ. So what we will do? Can I add any row to any other row, any column to any other column? Okay. Now B plus C is here, C plus A is here, A plus B is here. If I add the second row and third row both to the first row, then let us see what happened. If I add both, then on the first row I will get 2 times A plus B plus C, 2 plus PQ plus R and 2 times X plus Y plus Z. Now see here, I am getting each term twice, na? B 2 times, C 2 times and A 2 times. On right hand side you see I need 2, so that means I am on the right track. That means I want 2 and I am getting 2 as common. So from row 1 I can take 2 common. Now 2 is out. Now this I have to prove that this is equals to this matrix. Now what we will do? Now if you see that on R2 if you apply R1 minus R2, then C and A will cancel and you will get only B, which I require here. Similarly R and P will cancel and I will get Q, and here Z and X will cancel and I will get Y. So again on R2 I am getting how I can get B, Q and Y. Let us check whether the same principle will apply to this third row, A plus B. If I subtract this row from first row, then A and B will cancel, I will get only C, right? So yes, this principle is applying. So let us apply on R2 R1 minus R2 and on R3 R1 minus R3. So my left hand side will be A plus B plus C, P plus Q plus R, X plus Y plus Z, and the second row will be B, Q, Y, C, R, Z. Now I want this second and third row I have got. Now this first row. So what we will do? Now again you see that if on R1 I subtract R2 and R3, right? That is, if I apply on R1, R1 minus R2 minus R3, then I will get A, P and X on the first row, and hence I got the right hand side. Yes? Is it difficult? Right. This is little bit difficult, so better you keep on practicing different number of sums to what I can say that to get the grip on this kind of problems, right? Now let us move to the sixth problem. So I got left hand side and right hand side both equal. Okay. Now sixth problem. Again on right hand side is 0. Then I have to make any two row or any two column identical. Let us see how we can do that. Now left hand side is given. Now what I will do on R1, what I am doing? I am multiplying C, right? I am multiplying by C on R1. So what I will get? On R1 I will get 0 CA and minus CB. Yes? Okay. So R1 I have changed as C times R1. Now on R1 again what I will do? I will add this second row. Right? What I will do? I will subtract B times this second row. So this minus A will become B into A. This will become 0 and this will become BC. And I have to subtract. So when I subtract, what I will get? I am getting AB here. See here, AB and AC, it will remain as it is, and here if I subtract B times, so I will get 0, right? Now A is common in this first row, so what I will do? I take A common, so here I have BC 0 minus A 0 minus C and BC and 0. So this whole term is 0, so I will say that result is 0. So therefore, since R1 and R3 are identical, so what I will say that my left hand side is equals to right hand side. Now again in this problem, the right hand side is not 0. Right? So forget about property number 3. Now one more thing, that we want 4 here. Right? So let us start. Now if you see this first column, second column and third column, you will find, or if you see row wise also, you find that in first row A is common, in second row B is common, in third row C is common. If you check column wise also you will get A, B and C common. So either from row or from column you can take A, B, C common. So I get this determinant. Now if I add this first row and second row, what happen? These two elements will become 0. So better I add, or first I remove A, B and C from column, because see here I need A square, B square, C square. So I take A, B and C column common. So I get A square, B square, C square, and here I get minus 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 1, 1, 1 minus 1. Now on R1, I will apply R1 plus R2. On R1, I will add them. So after adding, say here I get 2 zeros, right? Now as I get 2 zeros, I can easily expand this determinant along the first row. So I get 2 times this 1 into 1, 1 minus 1 into minus 1, minus 1. So 1 plus 1, 2. So I get A square, B square, C square into 2 into 2. So I get 4 times A square, B square, C square, which is my right hand side. So see how we are solving the problems. Yes, I know that they are little difficult. You have to keep on practicing to get the answers. Okay. So I hope you have understood how we can apply the property and find out the determinants. Most of the time we will get the problem of proving using the properties of determinant. There are some examples given in your textbook. Now go through those examples and solve those examples. You can first time see the examples how it is solving. Here also you can see how I have solved. If you have some other idea, it is not mandatory that these operations only you apply. You can apply these 6 properties in any order, in any way. Here most of the properties I have applied row wise, you can apply them as column wise also to get the answer.